Hey, what's up guys, you got Gunk or BB here. We're back with PMPL Anniversary Tour, and this time, no more pools. We're now in brackets, which means one loss, we're out. No more differential, no more how many kills you got, who died to rocks, who got to stick spikes, nothing. All it takes is one loss, and the tournament is over for our team. So we're gonna have to step up the game. This time we're going against Peter 6'9"er. Actually, I think it's 96, but I am a 24-year-old adult, so the number 6'9" makes me giggle. And he's kinda got a pretty scary team, but as always, gotta bring out the heat. So let's check out the builder. Alright guys, we're gonna get into the builder here. As you can see, my opponent's team is stacked to the top with threats upon threats. You can see the Mega Garchomp over there, broken, Aegislash, which is like one of my favorite draft mons that I've used. I remember when Aegislash started to be used in Draft League after being banned since forever, you know, like Gen 8 and stuff. And I just love Aegislash, he's such a cool mon. We have Starmie, another mon that I love using, and I think it's very underrated. It's like low-key broken. I mean, not really, but it's very good. It's very versatile. So, and of course, Silvally, again, second time we're going against one. And that's a mon that I have a lot of respect for. One of my favorite draft mons as well. I know I say that about like so many mons because I spent years playing this, unfortunately. I have no other life other than Pokemon, so first things I notice here is that Starmie is a problem. So the first Pokemon that we have over here is going to be Spadef Zapdos. This is tailor-made to take on Starmie. Of course, we have to watch out for a couple of things like Life Orb, Analytic, blah blah blah. Obviously, I don't have to explain that. That's just really strong and it's gonna do a lot, but there's another team member here that's going to facilitate those moves, so I'm expecting Starmie to not just go for the Ice Beam right away. That being said, we have some Hurricanes, some T-Bolts, some U-Turns, just normal Zapdos stuff with the Roost for the recovery. Electric and Flying is impossible for my opponent to switch into, so, and then of course the U-Turn for the momentum. And the other switch into Starmie is gonna be AV Bro. This is supposed to switch into it before Zapdos because, like I said, there's the Ice Beams, there's that stuff, and of course, something very scary, it's the Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam as a switch in will mean that Zapdos just dies straight up. So this is probably gonna be my first switch in, even though Zapdos is more likely to come into it if I can tell that it's not like Life Orb, Analytic and all that stuff. So that being said, Slowbro takes on it very well. It can take on T-Bolt after the Analytic boost, taking half, and it just sits there and gets some chip with Shadow Ball, of course. Recover will be horrible, but it's just a way that we have to deal with it. And we do have Psychic Noise for it, even if it should beat us 1v1 because it's that strong. Starmie is that strong. But yeah, I am very scared of Starmie, which is why my first two mons are tailor-made to take on it, as well as other things like Aegislash. If it specs, both of my Pokemon can kinda take on it. Slowbro actually takes a Shallow Ball, but I have to be at full HP because it does 99, like literally. So, and of course, Mega Garchomp, even though we're not like full Fizz Def, we are still gonna check it with Ice Beam, and Zapdos being immune to ground, of course, is very good. And without Swords Dance, we should never die to any hit. So that's gonna be our first two Pokemons, and those are the only ones I'm bringing. Everything else is gonna be offense on offense. So I should have started with this one first, probably, but we are bringing Sash Lead Infernape. I really like that my team allows for multiple like S leads, like Sash leads. And this is the first time I'm bringing one. It's gonna be the Infernape. We are Terra fighting because the way I see the turns going is that the best switching my opponent has is gonna be either Starmie or the Garchomp. Garchomp does not want to take 2 Terra fighting post combat. It actually should always kill it. And of course, Starmie is weak to knockoff and it's gonna do a lot. So after I knock off Starmie switching in, I can Terra fighting and just attack, and something should go down with me. And of course, we are trying to get rocks in the process, but this is just good. It's hard to switch into Infernape, which is why I think this is such a strong lead. And we're just going 252, 252. You guys know I don't like doing that, but like, it's a Sash lead. Like, what am I supposed to do? Following up the offense, we have Muscle Band Meowscarada. I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't know what item to put on this thing, so I'm like, it has to be a booster item because I need this, you know, I need the power. It can't be Life Orb because I hate Life Orb and I can't take Life Orb hits. I kind of need this a little healthy for things like Mimikyu as always. So we're just gonna be 4 attacks, Muscle Band Protean. All things considered, this is really hard to switch into. This time we are flying coverage so we can hit Infernape. Last time we kind of struggled with that and my opponent brought defensive Infernape and then Bandit Flower Trick did like, what was it, like 25%? That was hideous, that was horrible. So this time we're Aerial Ace, it should do a very good amount. Triple Axle, of course, there's a Rotom on the other side as well as Garchomp. It's mainly for Garchomp. And then Knockoff Flower Trick is just really good against my opponent here. The other thing I noticed though against my opponent is that there's not very good ground switchings. There's like none of them. I mean, you could say Fearow, but like that's not a real Pokemon, he's not gonna bring that. And the real switching here is gonna be a flying Silvally. That's really what I'm expecting. I think last week I was also expecting something like that just because Excadrill is so, you know, in your face offense and it's just really strong. But we're bringing Scarf. This is such a nostalgic set for me. This reminds me of Auras when I will slap this exact set into like all of my teams because I needed a ground type and I needed a spinner. So I'm like, oh, well, guess what? I can just be Mold Breaker, Scarf, Drill once again in all of my teams. Of course, without X-Scissor, because like you probably want to be like Rock Slide or whatever. And it's just really good here. Nothing switches into it. The best switchings are gonna be like Rotom, Mo, Garchomp, and Starmie, but they have to be somewhat bulky, otherwise they get two-shotted. Except for Garchomp probably, because it's stupid. This is such a good set here. I'm excited to bring it. I'm expecting it to get a lot of KOs in the late game after my defensive mons are done chipping with, you know, their Scald. But last we have kind of a hit set. I might have cooked too much. You guys let me know in the comments. I definitely think this is kind of a stupid set. We are Terra Dark Mimikyu. So, hear me out. My opponent has been dealing with Mimikyu by using Grafaiai. If I turn into a Dark type, I'm going to be immune to all of the Prankster moves that it goes for. Not only that, I know it gets U-turns, gonna do a lot, but after it hits me, Payback not only doubles in damage, but because we're Terra Dark, it goes from 50 to 60 base power. So this is effectively 120 base power if I move last. Kind of insane. Like, I know it's kind of a stupid set, but it is kind of insane that I can do this with Mimikyu. And that being said, if I SD and I have all, you know, if things are chipped down, I can actually win with this set, even without Terastallizing. But, I mean, Payback is just really nice, funnily enough. It does kill Aegislash, allegedly, and not only that, but it helps me take on Shadow Sneak. I say allegedly because it depends on the bulk, but it should kill at +2, and just everything else just takes a lot, and just very Dark Ghost is just like impossible for him to switch into. And yeah, I mean, I don't expect Payback to do a lot, but maybe Player of Will. I don't know, this is like a stupid set, but it might work. So, that's gonna be the team. Let's get right into the battle. Alright guys, here we are. We see no Starmie. This actually was insane. Because the Starmie like 6-0'd me. But, you know, we take those. I'm not complaining. I will never complain about that. And as you can see, there's no flying type, allegedly, because Silvally could be flying. And we're just gonna lead with Infernape here because that's our dedicated lead. We are expecting a Garchomp lead or maybe their own Infernape lead. So let's go watch the battle. So we have ape on ape action. We're just going to close combat. We win the possible speed tie as they set up rocks. So right off the bat, I didn't want to set up rocks because if we're both leading here, that means you click rocks. So most likely you are also Sash like me, or you could have been Scarf, but in that case you wouldn't have rocks and you would have of course moved before me. So looks like this is a mirror match here. We're both Sash, and that's why I just wanted to attack, because if my opponent wins the speed tie, we both get rocks, but my Infernape goes down. So I don't get rocks, and I take down the Sash Infernape. You gotta keep in mind this could be like Endeavor and all that stuff, and I do not want to deal with that at all. And especially, I always have Shadow Sneak, but I will reveal Life Orb, and not only that, but I take Life Orb, so I don't really want to do that. And Zapdos and Silvery, I don't want no Endeavor, so I'm just gonna attack. We don't bring it down to the side, but might as well because it's a 2-hit KO. And we win the second speed tie. I'm gonna be honest, I talked to my opponent after the battle. I talked to Peter. This was a speed tie. So there's I won both. I got lucky. No surprise there, I always get lucky in this tour. And in comes Garchomp. I'm just gonna attack. I don't Terra because I think Mimikyu being Terra can actually put in work. And I'm also not gonna Terra just to hit this once. I am gonna attack though, because if this... I don't kill this obviously. If it goes for Sword Sense, then I'm gonna get hit with a Scale Shot, and in that case, he's gonna be +2 attack, +1 speed. I rather he's just at +1 speed or +2 attack. Either or, but both would be very bad, which is why I'm attacking. So I attack. We don't quite get the 2-shot there, so there's some bulk on this one. And he does go for the Scale Shot. Of course, I am -2 defense, that always killed. And he does get the +2, the +1, but not the +2. So here I'm able to just go for a Scald because I know that he can't set up on me. And of course, always lucky, I get the burn, turn 1. I'm so good at Pokemon, what can I say? We are going to stay in on Psychic Noise. So now this Sylveon is forever going to be at around half. And in comes this thing, Scald. Not burn, but I get a crit, so might as well be a burn. Not really, but you know what I mean. That's still huge. Any damage on this is amazing. Not only that, but I get to see that it's not leftovers. So most likely a Resist Berry or of some kind, probably Shuka or Colbur if I have to guess. I go Zapdos. I do expect a Toxic, but I can't just go into Excadrill because that's my win condition. It looks like there's no switching to it as of now. So I gotta go Zapdos, it's just how it is. And here I double into the Meow as they go into Sylveon. This was to see what kind of set the Aegislash was, because we've only seen Toxic, we haven't seen an item, meaning it could be Subtoxic, it could be King Shield, or it could be just Specs Toxic. The fact that he switched out is telling me that it's a Specs Toxic. That's something I love running myself, so I am obviously going to expect that. So we double into Zapdos once again because there's no way I stay in. And we switch again. It's just switch. Like the Nintendo, and he goes for Wish, which is very, very bad. So, but he protects. Honestly, I kind of prefer that over potentially healing Garchomp, because obviously Earthquake will not have killed. But I'm just gonna get the rocks out of my field. He's gonna help Slowbro switch into a lot better. We go Zapdos because if you go into Rotom, it's because you want to burn me. Not only that, but Rapid Spin tells me that this is at least somewhat defensive. It's not offensive. Offensive would have done like a little bit more. And we don't see an item, which is really weird. So, it switched into my Excadrill. It's raising some questions here, but I'm gonna leave that for later. We try to Hurricane, we miss on the Sylveon. Of course, that's very bad, but it probably, we already got lucky enough, we cannot complain. So I'm gonna U-turn into Drill. we see a baton pass, and in comes Rotom once again. Again, like, raising up some questions. What is this Rotom switching into my Excadrill? So we're just gonna go back into Sap. We're gonna heal up. Volt switch as expected, but we resist. And in comes the threat. Now, we tried to weaken this with Infernape because we didn't want it to set up, and also for Excadrill later on, but it is of course not in range of Earthquake just yet. We see a Stone Edge, and he has this. Here I predicted him to switch into Aegislash, so I go for Shadow Ball. I probably should have Scalded anyway. We don't see that this is any recovery as of now. I just didn't want Aegislash in for free. But if you think about it, Scald doesn't let it in for free because there's that potential burn going on there. So now I have to sack Amon. Even though I like Zapdos here, it's gonna have to be Zapdos. There's always that chance that my opponent misses either a Scale Shot or Stone Edge. The result's always gonna be that Zapdos dies and it comes Mimikyu for a Play Rough. There's no resist. Well, there is one, but it's weak to Ghost. And in comes this thing. We don't see a Citrus. We don't see any item on this. So we're gonna attack again, and we take down the Rotom. So I wanna bring attention to this Rotom. This whole match, I've been talking about how Excadrill just wins. I just need to chip down Garchomp. I think it's already in range. This is in range. Sylveon probably not so much. We don't know anything about Silvally, so we don't know. But here's the thing. I talked to my opponent after the battle. This Rotom is Ability Shield. This Rotom was the Excadrill switching. I was not thinking about it at all, because that's a new item that nobody uses. And it's funny because one time I was thinking, like, maybe like last year in some random battle, it's like, I think it was, I had Mold Breaker on Ogerpon, and my opponent sent out Go-Go. So I'm like, okay, Ability Shield. But that's the only one time I thought about that interaction. I've never thought about it ever again. And I could have lost to that if he saved the Rotom. But he does not save the Rotom, and it goes down to Play Rough. So now Excadrill is free. Especially because we see Silvally is not flying. It's Ice, which is really interesting. And we miss a Play Rough, which is very bad. I would have liked some damage on this for multiple, every month, honestly. Here I Terra, because I just want to hit this with Payback and also block the Ghost moves against it. And we see that it's doing 29, dude. This is Life Orb. I know he lowered my attack, but like, come on, dude. And it's Helmet as he goes for Toxic. Do I SD here? I switch. Probably better. Yeah, on a double Toxic, that's interesting. I thought he would probably King Shield. The thing is, now we know that there's no switching to Earthquake. So there goes one. One kill for Excadrill, the first kill. In comes this thing. We know that it can be Scarf because it's Terra Ice. Or, you know, it's an Ice type. And it is a setup Silvally. I know he can't kill me with anything here. So I just stay in and I attack. He does go for Flame Charge, which I know I'm gonna have to switch out now, because the multi-attack's gonna kill me. Of course, he got buff in Gen 8, which is what makes Silvally so amazing. Other than all the things it can do. In comes this thing. I just Ice Beam because I knew he was not gonna stay in here. And he's gonna switch, he's gonna Wish, but like, there's nothing you can do about this Psychic Noise. I'm just gonna Psychic Noise everybody. And he doesn't know that you Baton Pass Heal Block, but like, I clicked it again anyway, so it doesn't exactly matter. Here I go into this because I know you're gonna U-turn. Amazing play by my part, sorry, but it kinda is. But this is what we were looking for the entire game. This is what we were preparing for in the builder. Excadrill, there's no ground immunity. That's one Earthquake. In comes Garchomp, 2 Earthquakes. And now it's Silvally, 3 Earthquakes. We win the battle. Again, I think he should have saved the Ability Shield. I did not think about it at all on the battle. I'm not even gonna try to fake it. I did not think about it. I was just no. That never crossed my mind. It has crossed my mind before, but not here. And here, I think it actually would have mattered a lot more than stupid Go-Go. Who the fuck uses Go-Go, right? but we win once again. Yaskorada click no moves, and GG's to Peter 69er or 96. Dude, I actually didn't try to say that. It just came out. But GG's to you. I think you played amazing. The only thing I will say is, you know, Rotom. But all things considered, what do you switch into player of here? Like that was the whole point. I guess you know what, helmet on Aegislash means that you could have switched on it once, and it would have taken life for plus player of. The thing is, I still have these guys. I don't know. It was a tough position, so I'm not gonna. I hate like analyzing like that because at the end of the game, I think he played amazing. So I'm not gonna be like that. So yeah, pretty good win on our end. We managed to bring the Excadrill and we won how we expected it. So we are gonna move on the bracket, and I see you guys on the next battle. Like, subscribe, whatever, etc. I don't know what else YouTubers say. Goodbye.